All right. All right. Big news today. Deontay Wilder is fighting Dominic Breazeale May 23rd, and it's going to be on regular Showtime, not Showtime pay-per-view. As far as we know, nothing's changed for Deontay Wilder. He's still a free agent. He's not tied down to any network. He's not tied down to any promoter. He's in position to make his own decisions. There's no multi-fight deals that he has to abide by. It's not like Tyson Fury, where ESPN chooses when, where, and who he fights. Um, Deontay Wilder has maintained his freedom. So people can say what they want. They can be critical of this deal, and they have every right to do so. But Deontay Wilder does not want to be dictated to how to run his career. So you got to respect the man for that. Is this a gamble? Possibly. But so far, Deontay Wilder has gambled on himself his whole career, and particularly this last year or so, gambled on himself. He was told to take 12.5 million. He was told to take 15 million. 15 million. Now he's being told to take 100 million. So you have to ask yourself, went from 12.5 to 15 to 100, which translates to 33.5 over the course of 3 fights. So what's next? Is it going to be 150 million? So far, Deontay Wilder's proven us wrong, because if he were to take that 12.5, if he were to take that 15, he would have left several $1,000,000 on the table. So it's hard to criticize this guy, man. It's really, really hard to criticize this guy because he's doing it his own way. He's gambling on himself. He's doing what a lot of other fighters would not do. He's not playing it safe. He's not taking the guaranteed money because he feels as though at the end of the day, he can control his own destiny, basically. So, Steven Espinoza had said, when you fight Deontay Wilder on Showtime for the heavyweight championship of the world, you don't have to sign a 3-fight deal to fight the champion. So, basically, Deontay Wilder is still his own boss. So if those guys do want to fight him, they're more than welcome to try to negotiate with Showtime. And again, I've said this several times. I still don't know why. They can't do like a similar situation like they did with Mayweather Pacquiao, where basically, Showtime showed, the live broadcast and HBO got the delayed rights. I still don't understand why they can't work out a deal like that with the DAZN. So, I just don't understand why that couldn't have been done. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this whole thing, but I think Deontay Wilder did what he felt was best for his career. Um, first, again, I hate to keep repeating myself, but first he was supposed to take the 12.5, then he was supposed to take the 15, and now he's being offered 100 for 3 fights. So it seems as though the more time that goes on and the more time that Deontay Wilder holds out, the better the deal gets. So he's got a fight with Dominic Breazeale ahead of him on May 23rd, which I don't think will be a tough fight. We don't know. I don't know what he's getting for that fight. I don't really care what he's getting for that fight, but I heard that they were going to match ESPN's offer, but who knows? Who knows what the deal is now? But Deontay Wilder still calls the shots. He still makes his own decisions. He doesn't have to answer to any network, unlike the other two top names in the division, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Well, I mean, I don't know why you'd be disappointed, Moreno. I mean, how is it a duck move? How is it a duck move? AJ can still fight him if he wants to fight on Showtime. They're both free agents in the American market, so well, and if the DAZN wants to do a 1-fight deal, I don't know how it's duck season. I don't really know how it's duck season. The other two guys are tied down, and Deontay Wilder still has his freedom. So I don't know how that could be duck season. I mean, we can go back and forth with this all day. Nothing's really changed on the Deontay Wilder side. He's the guy that controls his own destiny. The other guys have to answer to somebody. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, we'll see. I mean, DAZN can still come back with a one-fight deal instead of making him commit to 3 fights. If this fight is so important, then offer him a one-fight deal. He's on a fight-to-fight with Showtime. Why can't just like AJ is on a fight-to-fight with DAZN, first and last right refusal. So AJ is able to shop his fights around. So let Deontay Wilder shop his fights around. You're not tying AJ down to a U.S. broadcaster, so why should Deontay Wilder be tied down to a U.S. broadcaster? You're allowing AJ to fight on DAZN and get Sky back-end pay-per-view money, but you're still offering Deontay Wilder flat fees. So that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's not a pay-per-view. See, this is what I love about you UK guys. I mean, you guys talk about how great Eddie Hearn is. And me and Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, who's in the chat right now, had a great talk yesterday. But what is Eddie Hearn really doing for you? You already have to pay your Sky subscription, okay? DAZN's not available in the UK, so you're not getting these fights for $9.99. So you have to pay your Sky subscription, then you have to pay a fee for Sky pay-per-view, and now he's focusing on the American market. All the fights are being shown in the US now. So now you guys have to stay up till 3 in the morning to watch these fights, and you have to pay for them on pay-per-view. So I don't know why you guys are so happy about what Eddie Hearn's doing. He's basically screwing you guys over. He's not doing anything for you guys. So, hey, listen. AJ was offered money for 1 fight. He wasn't asked to sign a 3-fight deal in order to get the fight. It's a different situation. It's a different situation. Give Wilder a 1-fight deal. Offer him the AJ fight with no strings attached. They need it. Well, that's their problem that they need a fight to build a subscription base for the AJ fight. This fight's as big. This fight's huge right now. Does it really need all that? Does it really need all that? That's what I want to know. Does it really need all that? Deontay Wilder chose his freedom, man. He's a free agent. That's right. 480 pounds per year on Sky subscription, 160 pounds last year for pay-per-views, and 640 pounds over $800 US beat. So it is what it is. Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. He's a UK guy. He knows how he's getting screwed over by Eddie Hearn. But yet you guys want to sit there and praise how great Eddie Hearn is, man. I think it's bullshit, man. I think it's bullshit. So you guys are going to have to pay a pay-per-view price to see Anthony Joshua versus Jarrell Miller, while Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale is going to be on Showtime, basic Showtime for us. So, I mean, who's winning here? Wilder's huge, man. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. That's why you're here listening to me talk about him, because you're interested in Deontay Wilder. That's why he's the most searched athlete on Google right now, and he's the highest searched boxer on Google right now, and that's why everybody in the UK, everybody in the UK knows who Wilder is, because they all hate him and they all come on these videos and dislike our videos. So that's a tired argument that just isn't going to work. He's the most searcher on the planet this year according to Google, exactly, but no one knows who he is. Yeah, all 18 of yous, but there was 4,000 of yous in the Showtime chat, and there was a couple hundred of you in T Street chat. So All you guys, all you guys keep saying how unpopular he is, but you keep talking about him, and especially in the UK, everyone keeps talking about him. So what can I say, man? What can I say? You know, what I tell you is, hold on for 1 second. I gotta do something here, and I'll be right with you. So why is he being searched if he's so popular? That doesn't make sense. He's being searched because people want to know what's going on with his career. How would you search for somebody you didn't know about? Like if you didn't know someone, how would you know enough to type their name in a search bar? I mean, it just doesn't make you control. I mean, if you want to troll, you control, man. It doesn't matter. I don't know, how much is Eddie Hearn paying you? How much is Eddie Hearn paying you? You're riding Eddie Hearn's dick, Shlomo, but he's fucking you over because he's making you pay for pay-per-views that you have to watch at 3 a.m. So nobody knows who he is, but everybody talks about him. Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. Absolutely makes zero sense. Not riding anyone's dick, man. All I know is my next fight that I'm going to be watching is going to be on Showtime. You guys are going to have to pay for a pay-per-view that you're going to end up having to watch at 3 a.m. So, yeah, no pay-per-view that you're going to have to watch at 3 a.m. Nobody knows. That you, Eric? You on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure if you guys can have my, I guess you can't hear my, see my camera or anything like that.
We can hear you, though.
Okay, cool. All right, so a couple of things, though. Hey, do me a favor, Dad. Turn it down for me, please. A couple of things, though. At no point did I hear him say free agent in there, and I think maybe you and I heard this a lot different. I just wanted to talk to you about that. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about, too, is that everybody's saying, okay, well, he's not going to be on an app, blah, blah, blah. We won't have to pay $10 to go see him and everything. And, listen, what do you think Showtime is? You guys pay monthly for that. You think it's included in your cable subscription? What's the difference between buying Showtime and buying an app? Nothing.
Well, how does that benefit the UK people who still have to pay for Sky and they still have to pay
about the UK people? He doesn't care about the UK people.
Oh, I'm just saying, how is that any different from the UK people who are so happy about the DAZN? Why are UK people so happy about the DAZN when they can't even get it? So how does that affect the UK people? So if Joshua and Wilder's on the DAZN, how does that make that better for the UK people who are so happy about, who say the fight has to be on the DAZN? That's not going to help them.
It doesn't matter. Wilder could care less. I don't care about Wilder could care less about the UK people. He cares about the American people. That's what he said.
So why the UK people criticizing Wilder for his decision when either way it doesn't help them either way? I don't get it.
That you'll have to ask them for. Can you guys hear me okay, or am I too loud? Or
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That you'll have to ask them for. I don't know about the UK people and what they do with Sky and everything, and they're getting hosed by Sky. I'll tell you that, based on what we heard last night.
I mean, I pay $8 a month for Showtime, so that's the same as me paying $9 for DAZN.
Right. So that's my point. That's my point. My point is that he's saying, well, everybody's saying now that this is on. The big thing is, it's on Showtime. We can watch it on our TV and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's not free. If it was free, it'd be on Fox, not Showtime.
That's 100% correct. But it's not on pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah, it shouldn't be on pay-per-view.
But why? But why?
Fight. Let's see. The other thing he brought up in his press conference. Was, hey, let's talk about this. He's a mandatory. I got to get the mandatories out of the way. That's all nonsense too. A unification trumps a mandatory.
But how are we going to put
he didn't want to make it.
But how is he going to fight a unification fight with AJ if AJ is fighting Miller next?
Well, he could have fought it on DAZN. Could have signed the contract, fought it there. There's no difference.
Well, why didn't DAZN just offer him a 1-fight deal? Why did he have to sign him to 3?
Again, we went over this because he assigned him a 1-fight. DAZN's not going to give you a one. No network is going to.
Why is Showtime doing that for him?
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, I don't know that they are.
Yes, they are because Steven Espinosa said he chose Showtime because he wanted to keep his freedom. Why? Yes, okay. He did. He said that at the beginning. He said he did not take the DAZN deal because he values his freedom. Right. That's what he said to him.
But he never said the words free agent. And then when he was talking,
why would he have to say he's a free agent? He came out and said he chose to fight on Showtime because he wanted his freedom. What does that mean?
I'll tell you what. What
does freedom mean?
I'll tell you what he said. He said, let's see here. What did he say? Blah, blah, blah. He's made a choice that demonstrated loyalty and that will be financially lucrative for a long time. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but you're leaving out the part where he said he chose to fight on Showtime instead of DAZN because he valued his freedom. He said that. He used the word freedom.
And he also used the word independent.
And he said independence.
Right, and he did. And he also used the word independent when addressing like Floyd Mayweather, when he said he bought out of his contract and this and that for $750,000. He referenced Mikey Garcia, and they all signed long-term deals with Showtime.
Mikey Garcia never signed a long-time deal with Showtime.
No, but he's on PBC.
But again, Floyd Mayweather is the only fighter that signed a long-term deal with Showtime. They're not giving contracts out anymore. He's on a fight-to-fight still. He said he valued his freedom and independence. They would have announced a deal today if there was a deal, Eric. I mean, why would they not announce a deal?
I don't know. It was all very cryptic. That was my problem with it. It was all very cryptic. To me, anyway, it was very cryptic because nothing was ever really said. And Stephen Epstein even said,
all it means is Showtime.
Detail.
All it means is Showtime will make sure he's paid for a long time. Probably keep offering him fights. They keep paying him what he wants.
Again, it's speculation because I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I think what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen is we'll find out later on in the day.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what freedom and independence means. If that doesn't mean he's still free to do what he wants. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
I really do. But I don't know how other way. I really do know. Freedom means you can do what you want. Independence means you can do what you want, and you're not tied down to a situation. But I'm independent right now. You're not because you're married. I'm independent because I can. That's what that means.
Say that again. Let me tell you.
We're back where we started. So these guys, if they want, they could still negotiate with Wilder. He's still a free agent. He did not sign a long-term deal.
Yeah, again, I don't know. We don't know. And then what is a long-term deal? Again, I don't know.
I mean, I'm just going to say it one more time. And if someone says he chose to fight here because he valued his freedom and independence, that means that he still has his freedom, and that means he still has his independence.
And in fairness to you, I don't remember him saying that.
He did say that. You just said you heard him say independence.
I heard him say independence, but I didn't hear the words freedom and independent. I did not hear that particular phrase, just like I didn't hear free agent. Now I'm not doubting it.
He didn't say free agent.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is I'm not doubting that he said that. I'm just telling you, just to be fair, I did not hear that.
I mean, he's fighting Breazeale next because Joshua's fighting Big Baby Miller next, and Tyson Fury's fighting someone on June. That's not his fault. And then, given quality, said, Eric, you read it. He said,
I didn't read anything stupid.
He said you read
this guy, this moron is always in the chat giving me a hard time, but he refuses to call up. He wants to be a baby and sit on his keyboard because,
yeah,
go do something.
The fight can still be made. I mean, they're just gonna have to they're just gonna have to accept the fact that he's not gonna sign a long-term deal with them. That's all. They really want the fight. DAZN can still make money and still get subscriptions by putting Wilder Joshua on their broadcast. They don't need to sign him for 3 fights to still make money off of him. Now, they're the ones that are being greedy, not Wilder. In my opinion. And then Steven Espinosa also said this. He goes, to fight Deontay Wilder on our network, you don't have to sign a 3-fight deal. That was another quote. So I just think that Wilder just wanted to be able to keep the situation the way it was.
I don't know. I mean, him fighting Breazeale next. I mean, and again, I mean, you go back to it. If we go back, and I don't want to, keep beating a dead horse here, but I don't know what he's getting on Showtime. I guarantee it's probably, we heard 20, 40, and 40 on DAZN. I wouldn't think he's getting 20 million for this fight, but I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I don't know.
But this is what people don't understand. Just because numbers are announced, how accurate are those numbers? How do we know Joshua? How do we know Joshua's making 30 million? How do we know that?
Well, we know these numbers are accurate because Shelly Finkel confirmed them.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But how do you know what the actual details were? Like they're saying they offered him two contracts. They offered him 120 for 4 fights, and they offered him 100 for 3, according to Dan Raphael.
Say this again now. What?
They offered him there was 2 options: 120 for 3 fights, or 100 for 3 and 120 for 4. And then they gave him the option of fighting 2 fights in between. So if DAZN really wanted this fight as bad as they said they did, then why are they giving him all these options to fight other people instead of Joshua? That's what I don't get.
I don't know. I mean, they want him on the network. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, just like Showtime wants him on their network.
So,
I mean, wouldn't that make sense though? Just like, like HBO wanted fighters. I mean, to me, it makes sense that they would want to get him. And that's not 3 fights is not really a long-term deal. It's a deal.
It's a year and a half. You're locked in for a year and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But you think about that fight, you have AJ and then you have the rematch of AJ.
So, I mean, that's the thing.
Given Quality knows the 4 fight was the only one that included AJ because he was in the room and he saw the contract.
Well, Beebs, you made videos this month based on so-called numbers, and now you're saying nobody knows the numbers. Yeah, but Georgie, I know how much pay-per-views cost, and I know that Golovkin Canelo did 1.2 million buys, and based off of that, I think this fight would easily do 1.2 million pay-per-view buys, especially in a rematch.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a $150 million fight.
I think at the end of the day, this was my whole stance. I said DAZN. I said he should fight the first fight on DAZN, but if he wins, he should be allowed to fight the second fight on pay-per-view. And this is my argument, and I'm going to stick to my argument. And these people in the chat, they're just going to ignore my argument, and they're going to cherry pick pieces of my argument, and they're not going to accurately represent my argument. My argument is this: 40 million for the first fight, absolutely. AJ has all the belts. AJ is the champion. Without question, 40 million for the first fight is fair. But it's the same argument Dillian White had. If I win, I want a better deal in the rematch because then I will be the unified champion. So if Deontay Wilder wins and he becomes unified champion, he should be given the right, just like AJ and Eddie Hearn are given the right to have first and last rights refusal to the zone. They're allowed to shop their fights around to U.S. broadcasters, and DAZN has first and last rights refusals. They're not giving Deontay Wilder that same deal. It's all flat fee money. There's no back end money. It's a flat fee. So if he wins the title and then they have a rematch and then the fight becomes even bigger and he becomes even bigger because he'll be the champion, you're asking the guy to take another $40 million flat fee. Whereas if he wins, he could make more than $40 million in a rematch as the champion. These guys would be splitting $120 million a piece. You're asking Deontay Wilder to only take $40 million out of the $120 million. And AJ gets 80. Even if AJ is the loser and he's the challenger in the second fight. So you're asking, it's basically a 70-30 split. It's bullshit.
Well,
bullshit.
We don't know that. You don't know it's a 70-30 split.
It is, because it is a $120 million fight bare minimum in the rematch.
Ooh.
It most certainly is. Add up the Sky money, add up the friggin' US pay-per-view money, add up all the sponsors, add up the live gate, add up all that shit. It's a lot of money, Eric.
Hey, just switching gears here for a minute. Did you hear about ESPN Plus?
Offering pay-per-views.
Yeah, they just got like all of the they got all UFC pay-per-views. So on top of paying $5 or whatever you pay a month for ESPN Plus, you'll be able to watch pay-per-views on there as well for like $60 or whatever it is. But that's the only platform that'll offer them, not DirecTV or anything like that. It's just on that app. Do you see that DAZN could go to something like that? Or, I mean, do you anticipate that?
They are going to end up going to something like that, and I'll tell you why.
I'm kind of wondering, especially since ESPN did that.
I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why, because you know what else DAZN's doing right now that you didn't know, you probably may not have known, that they haven't done before? They're starting to actually put commercials on their app now too. There's going to be commercials during these fights now.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. So
when are they starting that?
I don't know. It's going to be pretty soon.
Well, the other thing is too, is it only in certain areas also?
I don't know, but I heard they're going to stop putting advertisements on their app.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
That's insane. I wonder if it'll be.
I'll have to send you the
article. You know what I mean? Like
I'll have to send you the article. I read it somewhere.
Yeah, send it to me, man. I'd be real interested.
I'm gonna go look for it. But again, you guys are cherry picking my argument. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. I have no problem with the fight being on DAZN. I think it should be a one-fight deal. And then Eric's argument is, well, why are they going to do that? They want to tie him down for 3. They want to use him to make money. Well, now, what is it? What do you want now? You want 1? You want 3 or none? Because now you got none.
I just want the fight.
Okay, so then the only way to get him over there is give him a one-fight deal. What options? Give him a one-fight deal with options if he wins. If he loses and he wants the rematch, then he has to go back to DAZN and he has to take less money. This is what the deal should be. It should be $40 million, and then it should be 20 in the rematch if he loses. Okay? But if he wins, he should have the ability to shop the fight around, and if he wants to fight on pay-per-view, then DAZN gets the delayed broadcast a week later. Simple and plain. That's the deal that's similar to the HBO Showtime deal for Pacquiao Mayweather. What happened with Pacquiao Mayweather? HBO got the delayed broadcasting rights, and Showtime showed the fight live. Same fucking deal. All right, you don't have to agree with me, but don't misrepresent my argument. I have no problem with the fight being on DAZN. But if he wins, he should have first and last rights refusals, just like Anthony Joshua. I was reading about the ESPN deal, and you know what I read about the ESPN deal? ESPN chooses Tyson Fury's fights, and they choose the friggin' dates. They have to fight. Top Rank said this. They have to fight who ESPN tells them to fight. They can't pick and choose the fights over there. If ESPN doesn't like the fight, they're not going to broadcast it.
Why should Wilder get to pick and choose? Why should Wilder get first and last rights of refusal if he signs with DAZN? Why should he a one fight, a one-off with DAZN? Why should he get that?
If he wins, he should be able to have that. Why does Joshua have it? Why does Joshua have it?
I mean, if we're going to talk about, because that we're kind of getting into A side, B side, no?
No, we're not getting into A side, B side. We're getting into what's fair and what's not fair. Because if he wins, he's not the A side.
If he wins, he's the A side.
So why?
Right now, he's a clear B side.
He's a B side, but You want the fight, right? So he's gambling on he's gambling on himself. See, this is the problem, Eric. The only reason why DAZN is doing what they're doing is they're not 100% sure that Anthony Joshua can win the fight. And if he loses, they want to be able to have Deontay Wilder locked in. That's
Sure.
it.
I mean, well,
that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're never 100% sure that somebody's going to win a fight.
But you gamble on yourself. Fighters gamble on themselves.
Fighters gamble on themselves. Networks don't gamble on fighters.
Sometimes they do. Showtime gambled
millions of dollars here.
You don't think Showtime gambled on Floyd?
They gambled putting him on an 8-fight streak, or 8-fight
6 fights. It was a 6-fight deal.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Young prime guy who can box.
Listen, there's always going to be an A side and a B side. Georgie, why did Golovkin, who was the B side against Canelo, why did he hold out until he got the percentage he wanted? Why did Pacquiao hold out until he got what he wanted? This is what fighters do. You're not a fighter. You're not a fighter. You put yourself in Deontay Wilder's situation. He wants his freedom. That's what he wants.
Well, the other thing too, and Given Quality said 6-fight, $250 million deal is a gamble. He's right to an extent, because at that point, then they kind of get to pick out who you're fighting. And they can choose your opponent, and they can make it worth their while, and again, there's no such thing as a sure thing, but, putting them up against certain people.
This is what people don't understand either. They may understand it, but they not be taking this into account. When you sign a long-term deal with a network, and HBO has proven this, because how many times did HBO say no to Andre Ward opponents? When you sign a long-term deal to a network and you try to present a fight to them, if they don't want the fight, they tell you, no, we're not going to broadcast the fight. And then you have to fight who they want you to fight. Showtime doesn't tell Deontay Wilder who he has to fight. Deontay Wilder picked this fight himself. He wasn't told who he had to fight. And in fairness, Anthony Joshua picked Miller instead of White. That's why he's fighting Miller. I mean, I take nothing away from Anthony Joshua. He has an incredible deal with Sky, okay, but he still has a great deal with DAZN too. So he has two revenue streams. He's getting paid from DAZN and he's getting paid from Sky. So he's getting back-end money from Sky on top of the DAZN money.
Hey, Beeb.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and check out of here, man. I got to run, but hey, good show so far, man. And I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks.
All right, I'll let you go. No problem. All right, I'm going to try. Give me your email again on Rival Boxing Talk. Let me see. Just tell me what letter it starts with, and I'll type it in my thing, and I'll send you a link right now. Trying to remember the email that you gave me yesterday. I probably still have it in there, but I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link. GGG fought Canelo. No, he held out. They tried to give GGG a flat fee too, and he said no, he wanted a percentage. Then they ended up giving him a percentage. Brazil's in serious trouble. Brazil's going to get hurt. All fighters do the same thing, Georgie. They're going to always do that. They're always going to do that. Golovkin was the clear B side, and he held out in both fights. The first, De La Hoya tried to give him. All right, I got you, Unrivaled. I got you, Unrivaled. They tried to give him a flat fee in the first fight, and he said no. Triple G got 45%, though. They ended up giving him 45%. It was 55-45 in the rematch. He held out, and he got it. So, same thing. It's the same thing. When Pacquiao fought Mayweather, did they make Pacquiao sign did Showtime make Pacquiao sign a 3-fight deal? When Golovkin fought Canelo, did he have to sign a 3-fight deal with HBO? He already had a contract. Oh, here it is. I got your email right here. Boom, here we go. All right, I'm sending you the email right now there, brother. Here we go. No, I'm not going to send you an email because you're going to just scream all freaking thing, and I'm not going to be able to get a word in edgewise. Give me your email, though. I'll send you one. I'm going to regret doing it, but I will. Wilder isn't free. Finkel said we're not giving our fighter away. Wilder is free, actually. Wilder is free because Finkel works for Wilder. If Wilder fires Finkel tomorrow, Finkel's gone. Simple and plain. Georgie, give me your email, and then I can let you on. If you don't give me your email, I can't let you on, Georgie. All right. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. Interesting press conference. Interesting things happen.
Interesting, right? Interesting, right?
Yeah. Congratulations to Wilder in one sense. Congratulations to him, showing that he's a loyal type of guy. Definitely respectable to the people who've been paying him throughout his entire career. We can say that. I think we can all agree that he's shown a lot of respect to the people who've supported him and built him. I expect this fight to be one-sided.
Yep.
Very one-sided.
I do too. But once...
Go
ahead. No, finish. I apologize. I don't want to interrupt you.
But all in all, it could be interesting if Wilder comes to fight with Breazeale and Breazeale comes to fight because Breazeale's heavy. I'm not saying he's heavy-handed. He's just heavy. And he can take a beat.
Yeah.
He can take a beat. And he can hit guys hard as well. Like, Agano was a tremendous fight. Arguably round of the year, like you said. That was an amazing fight. Was the last. The only entertaining fight he's had. Good enough. You mentioned the pay-per-view and the cut that fighters would be taking. Like you said, I think you brought up like 120 million.
Yes.
And Wilder'd only be getting 40 million.
Correct.
So what would your projection be on Anthony Joshua Wilder as pay-per-view in the US? What would your projection on the numbers be?
1.2 million pay-per-view buys.
Okay, so at $75,
no, $85. It's $102 million. It's $102 million. So that's $50 million right there. That's $51 million. Now you add in a $27 million live gate. You add in sponsorship money, which is going to be around $10 million, and then you got to add in the pay-per-view money, which is another $45. Now, if they want, if Wilder can't get any of the Sky money, then Joshua's not going to get any of the U.S. money. So you got to figure that out. So if you add all that in, you got to add in. You have two pay-per-view revenue streams here, and you have a live gate, and you have sponsorship money. So add that all in. Add that all in together, right? That's a lot of cake. It's a lot.
It's a lot of money, but it's not real money.
Well,
it's not real money.
Is it counterfeit? I mean, what do you mean? I mean, when everyone gets their cut.
What I mean is, it's not real when everyone gets their cut, right?
Yeah.
First of all, Joshua ain't going to sign up to fight Deontay Wilder, and here's a fact: without a pay-per-view upside in the United States, that's never going to happen.
Okay,
nobody can say that's never going to happen.
So should Wilder get some? Because Wilder, when he fought Fury, it was said that he got 50% of the BT money.
Yeah, he probably did.
So should he get some of the Sky money then?
I agree he should. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to argue that. What I'm going to say is that Wilder will not make over $40 million via pay-per-view for the first fight.
No, in the second fight, if he was the champion.
In my own opinion.
I don't think so either in the first fight. That's why I said the first fight should be on DAZN. But if Wilder wins the first fight and becomes unified heavyweight champion, you know how much bigger he would be?
He'd be massive, but if he lost, he'd be fucked.
If he lost, this is the deal I propose. If I was them, we'll give you $40 million, and if you win and you want the rematch, if you win, give you $40 million. If you lose and you want the rematch, you're only going to get $20 million in the rematch. Now, if you win, you have the right to shop the fight around. We have first and last rights refusal on the fight, just like they have with AJ. So. He could decide that, I want to go on pay-per-view as the champion. I'm telling you right now, the amount of money that
Okay.
the amount of money that Golovkin and Canelo generated was gigantic. And it was reported that these guys made a shitload of money on the back end. Shitload. And if Canelo and Golovkin can do 1.2 million buys, what do you think Joshua and Wilder would do in a rematch after Wilder won? It would be gigantic. It would at least equal those numbers. So
That's if Wilder were to win. If it were to win.
So
If he weren't to win, it wouldn't do anything.
Then it wouldn't do anything. So he's gambling on himself, just like Dillian White is gambling on himself. Because why did Dillian White not take the fight himself? What did he say?
Because he doesn't believe in himself, in my opinion. But what he said is because he wants to shop around. I don't think he believes in himself.
No,
if
but
he really believed in himself, if he believed in himself, he would have took that fight and won.
No, but this is the problem Dillian White had. It's the same problem that Deontay Wilder has. Dillian White said this. He said, if I won, they were going to pay me the same in the rematch, and I wanted more. That was his argument. That was a big part of his argument. It's not. It's not. So let me ask your opinion. If Deontay Wilder were to win the first fight, should he not make more in the rematch as the winner? Yes or no?
I can't hear you. What did you say?
I said if Deontay Wilder were to win the first fight, should he make the same in the rematch as he made in the first fight? Or should he make more in the rematch as the winner and as the unified champion?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've never disagreed with that. If you were the champion, if you're the champion, you make more money. So that's how I feel.
So if he signs this deal, he's going to make the same amount of money in both fights, whether he wins or loses. Now you can turn around and say, if he loses, he's still getting $40 million in the rematch as the loser. That's a good argument. But he doesn't think he's going to – he's very confident in his ability to win, so he thinks he could earn more money as the winner. That's all.
I mean, for me, I think what the DAZN should be offering him is showing him how much they're giving Joshua and putting it as a percentage base. So let's say they're giving Joshua 60 million, Wilder 40 million is 60-40. Winner gets 60-40 in the rematch.
And then people are in the chat saying, using the word overpaid. No, there's no such thing as overpaying a fighter. The fighter gets a percentage of what the fight is worth. If the money's not there, they can't pay the fighter.
Here's the thing about being overpaid in boxing. These men that we're talking about are about 6'6", 6'7". One's 220 pounds, it punches like a fucking mule. The other one, 250 pounds, punches like a mule. There's a chance that these guys could lose all their senses. They could be killed. You never know. It's happened in boxing. They could be paralyzed. Look at Adonis Stevenson. He was hit by Vostig. Wilder could do that to any man. So could Joshua. Right? That's without question. When you say somebody's overpaid, this is a short game that builds your family's legacy for the rest of its life. If I'm in that game, my main objective is to make sure I can feed my family for the rest of my life. That's the honest truth. And that's what they're all about. If people are saying overpaid, over whatever, at the end of the day, you're not going into the ring with Anthony Joshua. You're not going into the ring with Deontay Wilder. If some of you will say, yeah, I would take 200,000 to fight Anthony Joshua. And I'm like, would you do it if you want more or if you can make more? I mean, just 18 months ago is when this all kind of started, right, babe? About 18 months ago, all of this really started. They were offering Deontay Wilder $12.5 million. Since then, they've offered Deontay Wilder $100 million. He hasn't been wrong. He's upping his worth. And I'm not a Wilder fan. I'm not a Wilder fan. I'm not an Al Heyman fan. Personally, I think Joshua's the A side. I think he should get more money for the first fight. That's my own opinion.
I agree. I'm not arguing against that, but everyone thinks I am, but I'm not.
No, Joshua should definitely get more in the first fight. I personally think it's 60-40 Joshua. Winner gets 60-40.
I mean, people are sit there saying, okay, if you're going to play the concept, come on, man. I meant overpaid in the sense of market value. Okay, so what's the market value of the fight? The The fight is huge right now. These guys could split upwards of in between 100 and 120 million dollars. So
that is possible. Also, let's just be real. The market value isn't the same. It's not the same as just pay-per-views upside or anything like that. Because look at what the DAZN is doing. They're trying to buy their way into a market so that they can make money. So when the DAZN are offering 100 million, the reason they are doing that is to inflate everything so that they can end up dominating the market. So they're looking for an oligopoly.
Well, isn't that the same thing that happened with the real estate bubble here? When all those people. So the market can be inflated one way or the other. It could be. You can say, well, it's artificially inflated, but it's still the market. The market is what the market is. If someone's going to pay $500,000 for a $200,000 house, then people are going to start selling in the house for fucking $500,000. People are buying we can sit there and cry all we want about how expensive these pay-per-views are, but people are buying them. And until people stop buying them, the market is going to stay inflated, whether you consider it to be artificially inflated or not. If people are still buying Sky subscriptions. People are still buying Sky pay-per-views. People are still buying US pay-per-views. So
here's the market value.
Go ahead.
You'll probably agree with this.
Okay.
The market value is simple. The DAZN have offered Wilder 40 million. They'll probably pay Joshua 60 million. That's $100 million, right? That's what they're willing to pay. That's the market value because they're putting the price on. Then on Sky Sports, it will probably do 1.5 million pay-per-view, boys. 30 million pounds, $40 million, right? Yeah. So if that's the case, and if that's because that's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
You're looking at $40 million plus 140 million. So if we get very conservative and we drop 20 million off of that, it's still a $120 million fight. And that's the market value that the DAZN have placed on it, offering 100 million.
Okay. But again, is the rematch bigger than the first fight?
The rematch is massive
if Wilder wins.
If Wilder wins.
And that's what he's gambling on. They're taking all that away. They're taking all that away from him and giving him a flat fee in the rematch, whether he wins or loses. And AJ does deserve more money, but again, if he loses the first fight, he does not deserve more money in the second fight. That's my opinion. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. I completely agree. I'll never argue that. I don't think anybody should ever argue that.
Well,
I'm just going to ask you this question.
All these people in the chat are arguing with me about that, and that's my whole argument. That's my only argument in this whole thing. That I think that they're making him fight 3 fights instead of 1, and everybody gets a rematch clause. All champions get rematch clauses in their fights. All of them do. All of them do. So Wilder's a champion, so he's gonna have a rematch clause in his fight. Joshua's a champion, he's gonna have a rematch clause. Joshua has a rematch clause with Big Baby. Eddie Hearn said that he'd be a fool to not ask for a rematch clause in any fight if I have my champion. So that's what it is. Go ahead, make your point.
Can I ask everybody in the chat just to give us an answer to this? How many pay-per-view boys do they think Wilder Joshua in a rematch would do if Wilder were the winner? How in America, not in the UK, in America? Tell me what the pay-per-view boy rates you think it would do in the rematch, not the first fight, just the rematch. Because I'm interested in that. Because I think it'd be way over $1 million.
I'm being conservative. I'm saying 1.2. I could be wrong, and it could do 1.5. That's what I'm saying. That's just my whole point. No one's going to answer it in the chat because okay, Alex T says 1.5 million. Okay. Shlomo says 2.2. That's a lot. 1.4. 1.4. See, look at these numbers. 1.5, 1.4. Yeah, this is a business class. That's what boxing has come to. I'm sorry. You like to drop numbers all the time, Jason, so we're dropping numbers. Benji says 600K, which is way off. That's way off.
Nah, I wouldn't do 600K. We're talking an undisputed American heavyweight champion.
That's way off. T. White says over $1 million. That's the Fight Doctor. Emmanuel, we're going to do a show tonight at 7. You guys will be able to call in at 7. Recovering environment of illegal streaming, tough to project, in my opinion. I will accept that. Very good. What's the last fight that went over $1 million? Golovkin and Canelo.
Golovkin, Canelo.
They did 1.2 and 1.1. So everyone's saying in between 600,000 sounds right, Jason, in a rematch. That's bullshit. There's no fucking way. So you're saying that if Wilder beats Joshua and he fights him in a rematch on an American pay-per-view, you're saying that the Canelo Golovkin fight is bigger than that. I don't get it. I don't get it. Joshua's getting there, man. He's starting to become more popular in the United States. Ben G says, bro, that did not sell over $1 million. Yes, it did. It did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys the first fight, did 1.1 in the second. That's false. No, it doesn't make sense. This fight is big. This fight, I'm saying if Wilder beat AJ in the first fight in a rematch, what would the pay-per-views be? As Wilder, the heavyweight champion.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the first fight. The first fight might do 600,000. I won't deny.
If we would have just run the first fight, I would think probably 500 or 600. I would say 600,000. But the rematch, if Wilder won and it ended up being a barn burner like the Klitschko Joshua was, is Joshua a bigger name? Is Joshua a bigger name than Fury in the UK? I would say yes.
That's actually a very hard question because Tyson Fury's been on morning television, like on the most popular morning breakfast shows.
Okay, you would know more than me. I don't know.
I would say that he's more known to like hardcore sports fans or sports fans in general. I think overall public, hard to argue because not a lot of like 70-year-old women know who Anthony Joshua is. They know who Tyson Fury is because he's been on like the morning show and the breakfast shows and everything.
I got you.
So there's more people are going to buy Joshua fights. That's for sure. But in terms of everybody, about 50-50.
So let me ask you guys this: if Fury fights AJ, should that be a 50-50 split?
I mean, that fight's going to do over 2 million pay-per-view buys in the UK. That's going to be the biggest pay-per-view in UK boxing history.
Yeah,
hands down.
Is that fight bigger than the Wilder Joshua fight overall? Worldwide,
but not overall not worldwide because Fury's not American. You see, the American market is massive in terms of pay-per-view just because of your prices. Your prices, like Joshua can do 1 million pay-per-view buys, yeah. Wilder can do 300,000. Gross is the same.
I'm gonna make a prediction. Someone just asked me, Beeb, do you think AJ versus Wilder will be on Showtime pay-per-view next? Yes, I do. I think this is what I predict is going to happen, and this is just my opinion. I think that what they're probably going to end up doing is they're going to end up doing a deal with Showtime, and they're going to have DAZN show the rebroadcast of the fight. I think DAZN will have rebroadcast rights of both fights if there's two fights with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I believe so. I believe there's a good chance Showtime could end up doing both fights. Just to get it done.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Where should the fight take place? The first fight.
The first fight. I would like to see it take place in the United States. To be honest, I think it should be in. I honestly think it should be in Madison Square Garden or Vegas, because the ticket prices would be huge. And I'm gonna use an example. Golovkin, Canelo, the live gate with 17,000 fans showing up was 27 million. That's the live gate. The live gate for Klitschko Joshua was 12.5 million. Was 12.5 million. That's what 90,000 people showing up. The ticket prices in the United States are so much more than in the UK. So you could generate. You can generate more money in the United States having the fight in the United States. It's just there's just more money here.
Yeah, there's more money, but that's not what I'm asking. Like in terms of finance, I'm talking about if it's the first fight. Where would you prefer to see it in terms of the everything? Just not just finance.
Well, I'm biased. I'm going to say United States.
I'm biased. I'd like to see it in Wembley. Like, I think that's massive in Wembley. That sells out Wembley.
Yeah,
that does 100,000 seats in Wembley.
I wouldn't hate the fight in Wembley. I wouldn't be mad at it, but if it was in New York, I would probably try to go to it. To be honest with you, Wilder is a hype job milking that WBC belt. Well, I don't know. I mean, like all this criticism of Wilder, it's just doesn't make sense at this point. I mean, you don't have to like the way he fights. You don't have to, but again, you can't take away the fact that he could end somebody's career with one punch. It's just the way it is. Guys got friggin' the power of death in that right hand. He could turn any. He could be losing, 11 rounds to 1 and just take someone out in the 12th round. That's just definitely a possibility. Can't deny that. Can't deny that. All right, I think we dropped our UK friend here. Maybe his phone died. Something probably happened, but I think we lost him. All right, guys. Let's Legendary Boxer says the fight should be in Vegas. Fans get ripped off for tickets in the US. Well, we'll see. Possibly. I'm not happy about the ticket prices. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to say that they're great. Wilder's a hype job milking that WBC belt, says Edward Moreno. Garcia Spence was 75 here in the States. You guys overseas are lucky. I know, but they pay a lot for regular subscription channels. They pay more than us for their Sky Sports subscription is like $45 a month. That's a lot. We only pay fucking $10 for Showtime. Big difference. Shlomo says Heyman's a crook. Tone says no, Benji. Good debate, by the way. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But yet I'm biased. Everyone says I'm biased. Fight should be wherever the most money can be made. Yeah, and I think that's United States. Brooke versus Joe Jordan was pay-per-view in the UK. There's no AJ versus Wilder next. I'm not supporting this weirdo shit, says King Kali. Yeah. Go Google Barbarian for FBI. No, we're not going to talk about that stuff. Freaking shame, man. We have 3 legit heavyweight fighters, and we may not get to see them in a ring against each other. Good talk, Beebs. It's more uncertain with your arguments you present, mate. I'll happily admit. Still, just feel it's a balanced gamble he should take at this time. Respect your argument. Thank you for at least listening to my side. Thank you. You got to try to put yourself in the fighter situation. And if what would you do if you were in their situation? Maybe a lot of you guys would take the $100 million. Maybe I'm a pretty conservative guy. There's a good chance that if I was offered that, I'd probably take it because I'm not a high risk guy. But again, I'm 50. When I was 35, if I was 33, maybe I would gamble on myself. Who knows? Okay, once again, they're making the public wait even longer for it. But this is how it always happens. Beebs, how it doesn't bother you as a hardcore fan that Wilder record ain't shit and holding the world. Well, we can play that game with anybody. I mean, could sit there and they said the same thing about Golovkin. He was fighting nobodies. None of that matters. I mean, Wilder's a dangerous fighter. He could knock out anybody. Ortiz is a good fighter. Fury's a good fighter. I thought he lost a Fury fight. Wilder does not have a great resume. I never said he did, but he's still in a position now where he's one half of the biggest fight in boxing. Wilder fought Ortiz and Fury back to back. So when will AJ fight Fury and Ortiz back to back? That's a good argument too. 50, you look younger than me. I'm 38. Thank you. Yeah, I mean AJ's resume is okay too. It's not great. I mean, fought Klitschko. Well, he fought Klitschko. Povetkin was kind of past it when he fought Povetkin. Parker a lot. I mean, you could sit there and you could tear down. If you had a right hand like that, would you take risks though? Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I was 33, yeah. I mean, AJ beat Vlad, but who else? That's a good argument, yeah. Sean Newton's 52. He looks younger than me. I've had a hard life. Please let's not mention that guy's name in this chat. That guy's a piece of work. That guy is a piece of work. I'm sorry. He lost to Fury, and that big right hand wasn't that big against that big right hand wasn't that big against Fury. It almost knocked him out. Parker lost to Takam and Reed. I thought Takam beat Parker too. I thought he did. Beeb, if the role were reversed, how much of a fair share do you think Wilder will have given AJ if Wilder himself had 3 belts? Again, you're not listening. You're not listening. I'm going to say it one last time. Pay attention. I don't have a problem with the first fight being on DAZN with Wilder making the $40 million. My argument is if Wilder beats AJ in the first fight, he should not get that same $40 million in a rematch. Please listen and stop fucking asking me the same stupid questions. I've answered it. I never said AJ should not get more money. I never fucking said that. My argument is he's signing a 3-fight deal with 3 flat fee purses. And the second 2 fights are for 40 each. If he wins the first fight, he should get more than 40 in the second. That is my fucking argument. It's all I fucking said. That is my fucking argument. And you guys are so fucking thick. Listen! You're aggravating me now. Jesus fucking Christ, you're aggravating me. Same fucking question over and over again. No one is listening. All right. What's Jason saying? Jason's a fucking nut. Bro, when will that fraud? No, I'm not gonna read that one. Biggest fight for Wilder right now is Ortiz. I don't know, man. AJ's biggest fight has been against Klitschko and Miller, I suppose. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I was on Twitter all day arguing with this fucking guy, and I'm sitting there talking to him, and he's just fucking not listening to what I'm saying. Not fucking listening. I just never be boxing sucks, man. I'm a sucker. I'm still going to watch it. I've been watching the sport since I was friggin' 11 years old, and I'm 50 now. So, I mean, I'm pretty much hooked. Vlad was hungry when he fought AJ. So Ortiz was hungry when he fought Wilder. So what? What's that mean? Lamont Peterson versus Lipinet Sunday on Fox Sports 1. That's a good fight. The most annoying thing about the AJ Wilder debate is people not listening. Everyone's got their side and views, and they're not budging. I never argued. Now you're asking another stupid question. You're asking a real dumb question, Mart MB. I'm sorry. If Wilder Breazeale does half the pay-per-views in Wilder Fury fight, then what's next? Because I guarantee you that's not gonna. They just announced on the press conference that it's not on pay-per-view. So you're not. How can you're trying to debate me and you don't know the facts? Wilder Breazeale is not on pay-per-view. It's on regular fucking Showtime. This guy's aggravating me, man. You're really making me upset. You're saying things that don't make sense. You're not making sense. Wilder Breazeale is not on pay-per-view. It's on regular Showtime. Jesus fucking Christ. My God. Stop comparing Wilder versus Breazeale to Wilder versus fucking Anthony Joshua. Stop it. Stop it. Breazeale isn't on pay-per-view. That's great news. I arrived late and had no clue what happened. You already fucking said it right at the beginning. I'm sorry you guys that weren't listening, but Jesus. All right. Yeah, but you guys, and this is the thing, you guys have to pay for AJ versus fucking Miller on pay-per-view. And you're probably gonna get Wilder Breazeale free on ITV. So what are you mad about? You're not gonna have to pay for it. I know, man. I ain't got time to slow down if they can't keep up because they're not paying attention, man. You right, pay me no mind. They get me fucking aggravated. I don't know what's going on with Klitschko, man. I don't even know if he's coming back. These corny arguments. People still think fighters are afraid of each other and shit just because they want to get what the most money they can get. Fucking people are stupid, man. People don't get it. People don't get it. People do not get it. Yeah, I agree, Jason. People really think. People really think that Wilder's afraid of AJ. Like, I don't think AJ is afraid of Wilder. I don't think Wilder's afraid of AJ. This is about money. That's all it is. It's about money. It's about money. They're doing what every other fight have done. Doing the same thing Golovkin did with Canelo. He wanted more money. He wanted a percentage. Pacquiao Mayweather, same thing. Floyd De La Hoya, same thing. They all do this shit, man. Same fucking thing. Everybody fights for money. That's what this is about. It's all about money. He compared Canelo to Wilder pay-per-view. Again, that's the stupid, again. No, I'm comparing fighters' mentality. Basically, all fighters fight for the money. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry, Larry Merchant. You're not very intelligent. You're not a smart person. You don't understand. You're just like saying stupid shit. All fighters fight for money. That's it. Why did Golovkin hold out on? Why did he hold out for Canelo? Golovkin's wasn't a big name in the United States when he fought Canelo. That was all Canelo. It wasn't Golovkin. I'm comparing Wilder to Golovkin. I'm not comparing Canelo to Wilder. You're slow, man. You're just not that smart, man. You're not a smart person. You just don't know how to think. You don't know how to think logically and objectively. GGG deserved money, which he eventually got. Hey, well, Wilder believes he deserves the money. Wilder believes he deserves the money. All fighters do it. Golovkin said the same shit. I don't care about money. I care about legacy. I care about unifying the belts. I want to do this. I want to go for the record. And then what did he do? He allowed himself to get stripped of the IBF title, and he fought Canelo. And he never fought Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO title. They all do the fucking same thing. We already went over this. Stop being naive and listening to every little word that comes out of a fighter's mouth. You just sound ignorant. So if a fighter tells you that the world is flat, are you going to believe him just because the fighter said it? Guys want to hang on every little word these guys say, like it's like they're not going to bullshit you. GGG asked for 50-50. He asked for 50-50. They tried to give GGG. They did the same shit with GGG that they're doing to Wilder. First fight, they offered him a flat fee. He said, fuck off. Second fight, they tried to offer him less money. He said, fuck off. Same shit. Everyone does this. I am going to call fan base unintelligent. That's damn fucking right. I call it like I see it. I'm not, Georgie, I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I'm not. If someone's dumb, they're dumb. I'll call you fucking dumb. If people are acting dumb, then I'm gonna call him dumb. He's acting like a dummy. I don't kiss ass here, man. This ain't fucking Nickelodeon, man. I'm not hurting the channel. You're still here. I'm not hurting the channel. I don't have to be politically correct, man. If you come here and you troll the channel, you're gonna get lit up. Simple and plain. I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I'm not here to hold people's hands. I'm not here to beg people to listen to me. Anyone don't like me, they can get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck. My channel will be fine. You're forgetting one thing, man. I've been here for fucking 10 years. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care if my videos, I'm not going to sit there and be like everybody else and just fucking make clickbait videos and say what everyone wants to hear just so I can get likes and subscribers and fucking views. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're trolling because you're lying. You're lying. Gennady Golovkin did the same thing that Wilder's doing. Did the same thing that Wilder is doing. He did the same thing. He held out in both fights. And you never said a fucking word. My only point is they all do it. Doesn't matter if it was for undisputed. Doesn't matter. That was the biggest fight in boxing at that time. This is the biggest fight in boxing at this time. Okay? GGG went for the money. They all fight for money. Nobody fights for legacy. Let me ask you a question. When your mortgage or your rent comes every month, do you write a check out for the dollar amount, or do you just write legacy on the check and you fucking hand it to somebody? Is that what you do? Hey, I'm gonna pay my mortgage with legacy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? I want to buy that car, my friend. Oh, I don't have money. Legacy's worth more than money. Here you go. I'm gonna make legacy payments to you every month. Money's not important. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Stop trying to sell that to me. I'm not ever gonna buy it. I'm not going to fucking buy it. Stop it. Now, Georgie, I'm supposed to listen to people tell me shit like this, and I can't call them dumb? Are you serious? This guy thinks that fighters don't care about money. He thinks that fighters don't try to make the most money they can get. And I can't call him dumb? Are you fucking serious, Georgie? Really? Come on, stop it. They all do it. Everyone does it. They're all greedy. Every fighter's greedy, and they should be greedy because, again, one punch changes everything. You're not taking the punches. You guys vote for promoters and networks. You guys vote for promoters and networks. You're more concerned about Eddie's cut. You're more concerned about the DAZN's cut. I love Eric. Don't get me wrong. I love Eric. But he's sitting there saying, well, DAZN's got to protect their own interests. Well, that's true. But so do the fighters. So if anyone who's saying that Wilder should just take the $100 million, then you're taking the broadcaster over the fighter. You're putting the broadcaster's objective over the fighter's objective. I'm for the fighter. I will always be for the fighter. That's it. I thought AJ should have took the 50. But he didn't. But I never called him a ducker, though, did I? I never insulted him, did I? That's my opinion. He should have took the 50 because he was getting back-end money. He was getting back-end money on the US pay-per-view and the Sky pay-per-view. If he took the 50 million, he would have gotten 80 million. He would have made 80 million. So he should have took the 50. He was not offered a flat fee. He was not told he has to fight 3 fights. He was not locked in. It was a 1-fight deal. You can't compare the 2 situations. But you're for the fighter. I am for the fighter. I am for the fighter. I thought that was a good deal. You can let me be if you want, Georgie, but I'm not going to be a fucking pussy. I'm not going to fucking sit there and just not and fucking listen to you guys fucking talk shit. Just like when you call and you scream and yell and you do your thing, I let you burn. I let you be you. You let me be me. That's all. I'm not going to come here and be a pussy for anybody, man. I'm not going to sit here and be politically correct. I'm not here to act the way you want me to act, man. I mean, you're from Boston, man. You know how we fucking roll. This ain't fucking elementary school. This ain't fucking church. Fuck out of here. Oh, Beeb, you can't swear. You can't yell at people. Fuck out of here. Do what the fuck I want. I don't fucking care, man. One fight deal, $50 million guarantee with back-end money on both sides. And you're going to compare that, with a $40 million flat fee. The guy was going to make $80 million. Okay? And you're comparing that to what the same situation that Wilder's in. You can't say that. Can't say that. Can't say it's the same deal. But I never insulted him for not taking it. I said he should have taken it. Did I ever say, I never call fighters. I never call fighters duckers. I never say they're cowards. I never said a bad word about AJ. Not once. Not once. Jason, you can't be saying stuff like that in the chat. I already told you about that. That's why Georgie has the wrench. Even though Georgie aggravates the fuck out of me, he's still respectful in the chat. You can't use those slurs in the chat. I already told you that. I already told you that. That's why you lost your wrench. You don't see Georgie doing stuff like that. Listen, you're a troll, Larry Merchant. You're a troll. You're a dick rider. You ride too hard. You ride too hard for you're voting for a promoter. You're more happy about a promoter than you are a fighter. You're putting a promoter over a fighter. I can't fuck with you. I can't fuck with you. You're more concerned about what a promoter does than a fighter. I can't fuck with you. We're built different. We're built different. I don't care about the $1 billion fucking CEO of a company. I care about the guy who's actually doing the work and who's the blood, sweat, and tears of the operation. That's where we differ. That's where we differ. I ain't for a promoter. Fuck out of here. Keep riding dick. Keep riding fucking promoter dick. Not making excuses for Wilder. He does what he wants to do. There's no excuses. I'm not going to play this fucking game with you, bro. I'm not going to play this fucking game with you. Jason, you can't be doing that shit now. I already told you. We're built differently, man. We built differently. You get excited about promoters. You like seeing CEOs win. I'm for the working man, bro. You're an elitist. You're an elitist. I'm blue collar. That's what we differ. You're an elitist. Probably got silk pajamas and shit. Go to work with a suit and tie, man. I wear a fucking polo shirt. I don't give a fuck. We're different people. We're different people, bro. You vote for promoters. You want to see promoters get. You're like you want to go back to the Don King days when Don King was robbing motherfuckers. That's what you want. I don't go hard at Joshua. I never said anything bad about the guy. Don't lump me into other people. Yeah, I'm doing shows on Eddie Hearn now. The title of this show is fucking Beeb sucks Eddie Hearn's dick. Yeah, okay. Stop it. Sound like a fucking idiot. Stumbled upon your channel and you're angry. Yeah, well, that's part of my emotion, bro. I wish I could be happy every minute of every day. I wish I could put a smile on my face. I wish every time I walked outside there was sunshine and rainbows. But guess what? I live in the real world. In the real world, people get angry. I get angry when I listen to freaking idiots that are fucking talking nonsense. That's all. Look at my library for what? What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? Speak fucking English, bro. All right, on a good note, does Ringside Reporter sell pajamas? Nope, we don't. We don't. We do not sell pajamas, bro. Georgie, when you gonna smash a pie in your face? Larry Merchant, why are you here, bro? Why are you here? What are you here for, Larry Merchant? You already know what you're gonna get when you come here. Why are you here? Why are you here? Explain to me why you're here. All I can see you doing is trolling, bro. All I can see you do is trolling. Oh, Eddie, I need you to make the most money you can make. Don't give Deontay Wilder anything. You keep that money, Eddie. You keep that money, Eddie. Get out of here. You should like my channel because I speak facts. I appreciate you liking my channel. But you come here, but you don't learn anything when you leave. That's a problem. Oh, Sunday you're going to do the pie? Okay. Okay. All right, man. I'll see you later. Oh, Georgie's timing you out, man. Georgie's timing you out. I know that was kind of fucked up, Alex, huh? But that's how they are, man. That's how they are. That's how they are, man. Yeah, but you're ignoring like you can't sit there and say that Joshua's deal was anything similar to Wilder's deal. You can't. Can't say it. Wilder was not offered a one-fight deal with a $50 million guarantee with upside. He was offered a flat fee. My argument is if Wilder wins the first fight and he becomes the champion, he should make more in the rematch. Now, if you disagree with that, then you're going against every boxer on the planet because no boxer ever takes the same amount in a rematch if they win the title. If a fighter wins and fights that same fighter in a rematch, he gets more than he did in the first fight. And you're asking him to make the same. That's my argument. I have no problem with DAZN offering Deontay Wilder $40 million to fight AJ. I have no problem with that. But they're locking him into 3 fights, and they're asking him. Yeah, I predicted Fox. I thought he was going to go Fox. I'm surprised he went. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm surprised he went with Showtime. Fox got more money. I would have put the fight on Fox. More exposure. When Floyd had 2 years out, would he come back as a B-side again versus a champion? No, he would not. No, he would not. Nope. I don't think he would. Be honest with you, I think Floyd is probably the only exception to that rule. Because Floyd's bigger than the belts. To be honest with you. I think Floyd is bigger than the belts. After all but back when Floyd wasn't who he is today. He had to play the game just like everybody else. He did it with Oscar De La Hoya. When he fought Oscar De La Hoya and he won, Oscar De La Hoya said to him, gave him the same exact deal that he got in the first fight, and that's why the rematch never happened. So Floyd did the same thing. Because AJ is not as big as Floyd. I don't think AJ and Floyd are the same fighter. I don't. I really don't. And again, I never said AJ was the B-side even in the second fight. You're not listening again. I'm going to say it slowly for you. Open your fucking ears. Open your fucking ears. If Wilder wins the first fight, he should make more than he did in the second fight that he got in the first fight if he becomes the unified champion. That's my fucking argument. You're not fucking listening. You're a very stupid person. I'm sorry. You're a dumb person. You're a dumb fucking person. And I have no problem insulting you. Okay. You agree on that. So if he signs the deal, he's locked in to the same amount of money in the second fight, even if he fucking wins. I have two problems with the deal. They're making him fight 3 fights. Okay? My other problem with the deal is he makes the same amount even if he wins. That's my argument. That's my only 2 pieces of argument in regards to this deal. But you're not listening because you're pissing me off because you're not listening to me. You're asking me a question and I'm answering your question and I'm taking the time to answer your question and you're not listening to my answer. You're misrepresenting my answer. You're asking me what color is this mic and I'm telling you it's black and then I'm answering you that it's black and you're telling me I told you the mic was fucking orange. You're not listening to me because you're frustrating me because you're not listening to me. You're actually aggravating me because you're asking me a question, I'm answering it, and then you're repeating my answer back, and you're saying something I did not say. That's why. You're trying to take things out of context and you're trying to manipulate what I'm saying, and it's aggravating me. Because I'm actually taking the time to answer your question. And you're pissing me off. There is no re-up deal with DAZN. What are you talking about? There's a 3-fight deal. They wanted him to fight Breazeale, then they wanted him to fight AJ twice. And it was 20, 40, and 40. So AJ gets fucking back-end Sky money. Tyson Fury gets back-end BT money. What does Deontay Wilder get? They're giving him a flat fee again. It's the same shit. Now the first fight, it's whatever. If he wants to fight, yeah, 40 million. That's fine, the first fight. He loses, second fight, 20 million. But if he wins, he should get more than 40. That is the fucking argument. Why is this so fucking hard to comprehend? But who knows? So what are you saying, Emmanuel? They're going to fight 3 times instead of 2? What do you mean? You don't negotiate 2 fights at once. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why you fight 1 time. You have rematch clauses. Okay, that's fine. But you have to negotiate the second fight separately. You don't negotiate both fights at the same time. Even Eddie Hearn said that before too when Joshua was getting ready to fight. Yeah, but he also, when he beat De La Hoya, he also said he's not going to do that anymore. That's why why do you think there was never a De La Hoya rematch? Why do you think there was no De La Hoya rematch? Because Floyd wanted more in the rematch because he won the first fight, and De La Hoya said, no, you're getting the same I gave you the first fight. That's why it never happened. Any fighter will be the same, will do the same thing. That's why Dillian White turned the fight down, because he wanted more if he was the winner, and they told him, no, you're getting the same. That's why. No fighter is going to accept that. GGG didn't accept it. Floyd Mayweather didn't accept it. Dillian White didn't accept it. And fucking Wilder's not going to accept it. That's all. That's the argument. Yeah, but that's not the argument, Emmanuel. The argument is, again, please listen. Last time I'm going to say it. Last time I'm going to say it. Please. He doesn't want to make the same in a second fight with Joshua if he beat him in the first fight. And if he signs the DAZN deal, he gets a flat fee of $40 million for each fight. That he doesn't want to do that. And I understand his point. I understand his point. That's all. That's all I'm saying. No, that's not what Dillian White said. Did not say that. Dillian White said if he won the first fight with Joshua, the second fight he should get more. That's what he said. That was his argument. That's what he said. That's what he said. And any fighter is going to say the same thing. Any fighter is going to say the same thing. That's the argument. That's all. It's a very simple argument. If let's take the names out of it. Fighter A and Fighter B are fighting. Fighter A is has more belts. Fighter B only has one belt. Fighter A generates more revenue than Fighter B. Fighter A fights Fighter B and he loses. They have a rematch. Fighter B is going to get more money than he got in the first fight because he's the champion and he won the first fight. So he's going to get more money the second time around. That's just how it is. Mr. X and Mr. Z, let's just take the names out of it. Doesn't matter. No, if Wilder loses the first fight, then the DAZN could come back and say, well, we're going to give you less than you got in the first fight because you lost. That's all. I'm not saying, again, the counter argument to this could be he's going to get $40 million in the second fight whether he wins or loses. That's a great counter argument. But he feels he's going to win. So if he wins both fights, if he wins the first fight and gets $40 million, he wants to get more in the rematch. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Do I really think who would take what? What, Wilder? Well, this is the thing. If they had a one-fight deal and they had rematch clauses on both sides, then they would have to negotiate the terms for the second fight. Just like when Canelo and Golovkin had a draw, they had to go through negotiations for the second fight. I would rather see them just give them a one-fight deal and then negotiate the second fight afterwards. That's me. That's me. And if he was to lose, Wilder would get less if he lost. I agree. I agree. I wouldn't give him the same as I gave him in the first fight. That's what I said. So if he wants to gamble on himself and he believes he's going to win, then okay, if you lose, you get less in the rematch. That's simple. That's fine. That's fine. That's what I said. That's what I said earlier. That's what I said earlier. I mean, I'm just trying to be fair. All right. Where are we at here? Okay. So, I mean, that's basically my argument, man. I'm going to get ready to head out, man. Thank you guys in the chat. Appreciate you guys joining in. Even the trolls. I don't mind you guys coming in, but you just aggravate me because you don't listen. And you take things out of context and you're cherry picking what I'm saying. You're not listening to the whole sentence and the whole argument. But with that being said, Eric, myself, and Robbie are going to be back 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Did Fury and Wilder? Yeah, Fury and Wilder had a rematch clause, but they didn't have a rematch clause because it couldn't have been enforced because it was a draw. That's the problem. When you have a rematch clause in a fight, if the fight's a draw, then the rematch clause becomes null and void, Georgie. Well, who knows? I mean, who knows? You give him a one-fight deal, and then you negotiate the rematch after the first fight. Like I don't think the two fights should be negotiated at the same time. That's just my opinion. If he loses and he doesn't want to take the rematch, then that's his fault. Then Joshua goes and fights Fury. It is what it is. Yeah, Fury Wilder did have a rematch clause on it, but it was a draw. So it got null and void. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Make sure you tune in tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'll talk to you guys all later, and have a great day, man. Peace out.